This is the Murano. Trust me when I say all the people that talked about this car are not crazy. Even our comment section, everybody has something to say about the Murano. This is one of the most notorious cars you find on Nigerian roads today. In fact, you won't find them on the roads because a lot of them are lying helplessly in mechanic workshops scattered around the country. This car has been here for as long as I can remember. I have never seen it moved, which is why we are shooting it here. Is it Murano's fault? Is it Nissan's fault? Is it the owner's fault? My name is Crank of 234 Drive, and today I'll be telling you why the first generation Murano and how it torments its owners in Nigeria, in Africa, and all over the world. Let's get into it. This car was one of the first ever crossover SUVs to be produced. In fact, this body you see was a wonder when it came out in 2002. Then in 2007, because Nigeria, we always buy Tokumbo cars, so in 2007, this car became popular in Nigeria. Every man and woman wanted to be seen behind the wheel of the Murano. But little did they know that the external appearance of the Murano was not the only thing that was new about it. Unlike every other car, this car came with a CVT. CVT means continuous variable transmission. That means that the automatic transmission was not made of gears, it was made of belts. New technology. A quick analogy of the CVT, you know, like when you drive a bicycle, you have the gears and the chain, metal. But then the grinding machine for pepper is just a belt. So a CVT is a belt. Now, this kind of transmission saves fuel, like it's very economical. If you don't care about driving and engaging gears, you don't care about spirited driving, that's why CVT exists. It's just an easier type of transmission. But the problem with the CVT on the Nissan Murano was that this was the first time Nissan was using a CVT on any car. Nissan just threw the CVT on the Murano without proper testing. And up to date, the Murano is one of the biggest cars to ever have a CVT transmission. So it did not really turn out well. As Murano owners started to enjoy their cars, enjoy the driving performance, enjoy the looks, enjoy the attention they get from this beautiful car, they noticed something. When you're driving, you put it in drive, it doesn't go forward. You put it in reverse, it doesn't go back. Transmission is stuck. And they are scared, what's going on with my Murano? But they did not know that the CVT was having an issue, but that issue was not inside the transmission. The issue was electrical, because this car is heavily dependent on electrical systems. So these mechanics were new to this car, so they just go and attack the CVT transmission that they know nothing about. They start to fix it. Some people will even say they will change the CVT in the Murano, put something else in. By the time they finally realize that it is the brain box that has an issue, transmission don't spoil. So this was a big issue on the Murano. To top this transmission problem, these mechanics thought that this car, even the owners thought that this car was just a normal transmission. So they will put a regular transmission oil in their CVT transmission and it will spoil. Normal oil is different from CVT oil. Normal oil is the one normal transmissions use, automatic transmission, but the CVT requires a different type of oil. But nobody knew. So this also added to the damage of the CVT in Muranos. Now, I wish the CVT was the only issue the Murano had, but sadly, we're just getting started. This car comes with a 3.5 litre V6 engine that was poorly built. The first common issue is that the throttle body will accommodate a lot of carbon, performance will drop. Like when you start the car, it's just not firing well. The second issue is that the timing chain guide. Timing chain is one very important chain inside your engine that ensures your engine is running normally. The guide fails, and when you start up the car, you will hear ticking sounds. You might be lucky that this was just caused by low oil, but most times the timing chain has spot and you just hear ticking sounds, like annoying sounds. Everybody's passing now and it is annoying me. That's how annoying this car can be. Now I've counted all these problems, but one thing is very concurrent here. This car was a technology that people did not really understand. Unlike every other Nissan engines before it that did not need a lot of preventive maintenance, this one needed a lot of attention. And the average car owner did not know anything about that. So they keep running into problems with the Murano because the engine would always test you. You always need to pay attention. It was just a lot of stress. Now I want to introduce you to a new set of problems on the Murano that you cannot avoid. It is mostly inside from the poor build quality. Let's go inside. First problem is that this seat collapses and breaks. It is so strange, like you're just driving in this position and all of a sudden the seat slants backwards on its own. Like the seat actually collapses. That is weird. This one is even already giving signs of failure. Secondly, the sun visor bracket just breaks off and the sun visor crashes down on your face. and it's usually expensive to replace. You can see this one, this part just breaks off. Thirdly, the sunroof can explode, like it explodes, like the glass will rattle for a bit, you hear sound, then boom, to shatter and crash. Fourth issue is that the door handles break, like the door handles actually break, they come off as the car gets older. So the build quality of this car was really bad. Before I continue with the other problems, make sure to hit the like button. Yes, like this video to help it get more reach. Also subscribe to this channel because every week we bring you everything you need to know about driving your car. The last build quality problem is that you could just be driving and you hear sounds like the boot is shaking because the latch here has spoiled and it's shaking. So in fact, this one is already shaking. Yeah, shaking already, not supposed to shake like this. So the Murano was just really built poorly. This first generation Murano ran from 2003 to 2007, and today you can get this car Tokumbo for about 3.6 million naira, while a used one will go for about 1.5 million naira. Yes, as low as 1.5 million naira. But its rival sell for 5 million naira tokes and maybe 3 million naira for Nigerian use. So the market value of this car compared to its rival is half. That's how bad nobody really wants a Murano. But I know some of you still want it, you still like the Murano. So the Murano would give you issues will come up. For instance, the CVT, you have to replace it. Also, you need to understand that when any problem comes up on the Murano, you need to tackle it electrically before you go and attack the obvious mechanical parts that is having a fault. Let's say your transmission is bad, first check the brain box before you go to the CVT. The engine is bad, scan it. Like, just, this car is a modern car. It is not as analog as you think it is. That is why the Murano seems to have a lot of misunderstanding with people. My name is Crank and this is 234drive. Remember, be sure to send us an email on 234drive@gmail.com. We're always happy to point you in the right direction. Before I go, let me know what you think about the Nissan Murano. Would you buy one? Would you ever consider buying one? Do you like the looks? And if it pleases you to know, this car has one of the best sounding stock exhausts ever. Like, it sounds really amazing. So let me know in the section, would you buy this car or you flee from it? If you also have an experience with this car, tell us in the comment section.